I'm a picking.
I'm grinning.
Yeah, we're picking and grinning.
Well, it's better than Dylan's taco turkey.
Personally make it back.
Fucking Jim.
Chuck's got that button eye
Yeah, he does.
Welcome
Yeah,
everybody to
like it
Grumpy Old Soldiers.
Get off my lawn.
Episode 179. Minus Dylan, because he's on my fucking lawn. So, Dylan, when do you think you're going to be going back to your day job?
Give or take in maybe, and this is just an estimate,
You know,
2 weeks, give or take.
yeah. Man, I wish I had gotten a job like that when I was your age.
They understand, you know, with everything that's been going on with my, you know, when my godmother went into the hospital,
Yeah.
my father being in the hospital, and now him being home, and then my mother passing. They completely understand things like that. So that's why they want me to take time off and.
This year, you're going to learn how to get the food off the tray.
No.
Now, do you have any desire to be a cook?
Hell no.
No?
Not one bit.
You could work your way up to superintendent, though.
Yeah, but no, I'm wondering because I watch a lot of those cooking shows, and I kind of wonder if cooking wouldn't be kind of fun.
It is. It is. And where he works, it's almost never an emergency. I mean, you have to go kind of fast, but you don't have somebody suddenly say, "What's your name's food's cold? Make him another right now." You know,
Right.
shit like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to make fun of you, Dylan. I'm thinking, why not take advantage of it? I just didn't know if that might be something you'd enjoy.
Right, but like I said, I don't see myself being a cook yet. I do know how to cook on occasion, but I don't see myself doing it, you know, as a full-time
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, so you think of yourself as a pencil pusher?
Not really. I see myself more so doing more technology-based stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't really want to stay in the whole cooking or food realm.
Yeah.
What kind of technology stuff?
Like computers, cell phones, things like that. Only because of the fact that whenever my father needs help with his computer, I'm always there to.
Excuse me.
Same thing with my godmother. Whenever she has a question about her phone, her printer, her tablet, her computer, within like 5 seconds, I'm getting a full. I have a question,
Yeah.
and then of course, guys, Chuck knows me with the smart ass remarks.
Mm-hmm.
I have an answer. Now it's either a good answer or it could be a smart ass remark.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, I love it when my wife says, "I need your opinion on something."
No, you don't. No, you
It's
don't.
a trick. It's a trick.
Something I just bought something right before the show because I really do want to try streaming and stuff, and I mean like streaming games. I bought one of these because the HDMI output from my computer goes into that little spot right there,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then it comes out through that little spot right there by USB. Well, it's actually Thunderbolt, but
Thunderbolt.
yeah, and it goes to the other computer. That way, neither of the computer. That way, I don't overheat my computer and all that stuff. You know what?
Oh, I'll get it.
Fuck.
I'll get it.
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't showing it to chat. Okay, that's where it comes out. That's the poop hole, and stop it. That's where it goes in because I don't have an SDI thing. So
I mean, Chuck, you can always stream your gaming stuff to Twitch and things like that.
Yeah, that's what I
'Cause
was
that's
thinking.
So what does that do?
It takes the signal from the video from the computer, and it turns it
Yeah.
into a digital signal, puts it into the other computer, so you can stream out. It requires two computers pretty much because there's not a video card yet where you can really do it from just one computer really well. Not one I can afford anyway. I mean,
Okay.
it takes the
That makes
video and
sense.
the audio.
Beyond my needs.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to mess with it. It's a headache.
Yeah, I do. Chuck, speaking of Twitch, I do all my streams, like my Friday streams, strictly on
Twitch.
Twitch, Rumble.
Hey man, did you hear that their Twitch, their ad revenue's gone down like 50% because of all the bullshit Hassan's doing?
I didn't hear shit.
He's a very super far left streamer, and he
Oh,
supports,
so he's a major lefty?
huh?
He's a major lefty?
Major, big time. He
Damn.
supports the Houthis and everything, the Palestinians, well, the Houthis, and you know they're attacking Israel and shit. He even had one on screen for an hour or so. He was talking about how cute he was and shit like that.
Wasn't that nice of him?
Yep. And so the people have been pulling their ads and cut the revenue way the fuck down. And all sorts of people are getting pissed off at this guy. If it ever makes relevant, if it ever really becomes relevant, I'll try to bring in a video on that sometime. But for now, it's just an idiot being an idiot.
Yeah. Hey, Vinny. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, Ryan,
And
Cheryl,
Brian.
Dave,
Brian.
Brett.
Hey, everybody.
Brett. Devin. Hey, Devin.
Devin.
And Butter Squad.
Yeah.
But it's
According to Vaping Big Chuck, it's buttercup cakes.
Buttercup cakes.
Buttercup Kid. Hey, what does a joke and two dicks have in... What's the difference between a joke and two dicks?
What?
I'm afraid to ask. Go
Dylan
ahead.
can't take a joke.
Wow! You ass!
Good evening, everybody. How you doing?
Bumpo to bumpo. He does shows 3 times in the evening.
Dylan, get a ring light.
We're live in room, big folks.
Actually,
You-
Dylan,
Yes.
there are ring lights on Amazon for pretty cheap.
Yeah, what my father and I were discussing was we were gonna get one of those little green screens that attaches to my chair.
Mm-hmm.
So that way all I have to do is just prop that up and go with that.
What? Yeah,
But you
you can.
still need a front light.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
the thing. You need it in front of your face so you don't look like you're just getting it all from the glow of the monitor.
Yeah.
$19. Get this light I got here.
It's a good light. I've seen Jim's.
Yeah, they're super cheap, man,
What, like $20 on Amazon?
or less.
And it's a desk light. It's a desk light, but I can flip it up, and now it lights my face for the camera.
That reminds me, I got to turn
Yeah,
my
I
light on.
definitely.
And you can change the colors and shit. I can go brighter.
Thank you, Chuck.
So I guess everybody can see me better now.
Yeah, man, that's what my father was thinking. It was just probably one of those clip-on poles that have like basically one of those pull-down green screens and shit like that. Just
Oh, for behind you, yeah.
the green screen for behind.
And having a light on your face makes a green screen
Yeah.
work better.
Yeah, that's
you
what
might just be able to get a screen a lot cheaper than the one that attaches to your chair.
Yeah,
No,
what Hunky Vips was even, telling me was to freaking stick like a plywood or some shit like that over the window, or even take like black garbage bags and tape it to the fucking window where it is.
Oh, go to the dollar store. You buy yourself $1, the fake paracord, the 550 cord
Yeah.
for $1. Then you go to Walmart and you get the cheapest green fabric, and you buy however long your room is, and a couple clothespins. Get them at the dollar store. You get 50 for $1. and nobody's going to know how rough your green screen looks once it's up and running.
Yeah.
Right, because it's only focused on this little.
Exactly. If you have an issue with your window, you got towels. Just do thumbtack for a towel. I mean,
Garbage bag's still a good idea.
Yeah.
This is one of the main issues because when I'm doing live streams, because JT, I know you watch, Jim, I know you watch on occasion. During the daytime, that with the light coming in through the window, my face is just like pitch black, and I'm sitting here like this.
yeah, but no, just hang a towel
Don't
on
do
it.
that. Don't do that again.
What are you gonna do?
My monitor's not
Uh-oh.
rated for that.
Dude, I just had a bowl of chili. We ain't talking.
Oh shit.
So Dylan, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. Was taking care of the old man, letting him sleep. Just made him dinner and well, not dinner, but a cup of coffee.
You take him out to walk today because he's got to go like twice a day.
We were supposed to go out this morning, so I was gonna take him out this morning, but he just wanted to stay in bed, so I just let him sleep.
Well, take a newspaper with you, so if he doesn't poop, you wrap him on the head.
What did you put in his coffee?
A couple of drops of your nuts.
You really don't think before you insult.
No, I really don't.
No.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
I'm gonna have to learn you how to insult.
How you doing tonight, Jim?
I'm doing pretty good, except I bought this new shampoo and it says put on liberally, and that means I have to bitch about Trump the whole time I'm using it.
Well, good thing it's not the conditioner, man. It'll make you fluffy.
Oh, I don't know about that. No, I'm doing pretty good, I don't have to go anymore this week, so I'm good.
Cool.
Hey, Chuck, just know my father said in chat, not funny.
The newspaper on the nose.
Yep.
How you doing, JT?
I'm doing all right, Chuck. Sitting there enjoying the cool breeze.
Cool.
But
I'm doing pretty good. Somebody hacked my debit card again, so I'm gonna
Cool.
get real strict with that shit. We had a power outage last night when it came back on. At first, we had a brownout, and I was panicked because I thought the coffee machine wasn't going to work in the morning. So, yeah.
come on, Chuck. You got to at least have a drippolator laying around. You were a kitchen dude.
We got a French press and a gas stove and plenty of coffee.
Coffee.
I just don't want to have to do it because then I have to wash the French press and shit.
Damn it, Dylan.
Hey, I was just about to say that too.
So,
Oh, pot of boiling water, a sock, a handful of coffee.
yeah. I haven't.
I
never
do
thought of doing
suggest that the socks gotta be 2 days or less worn.
that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, it could be rainy season, too.
Oh, then you want, don't go past 2 days.
Yeah.
Although we had access to these, they were bleached, like shop wipes, like the paper towel shop wipes,
Yeah.
but they were bleached, unscented, and lint-free. Oh, them were the greatest. You could make a coffee filter out of those. You make a little bundle and you could boil it because a paper towel would just fall apart. And a regular blue shop rag, oh no, that tastes nasty.
Ooh.
No, you mean you don't like diesel in your coffee?
No, I don't like
Oh.
diesel, period. God, I hate the smell of diesel. The only thing worse is 90 weight. And every other week I got to pour diesel into my tank for the hot water. And I always splash diesel on. I smell it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that French press, we used to use it camping too. That was the one good thing about waking up too early in the morning, was that you knew you were going to have some French press coffee.
That looks like good coffee, but it just looks like a lot of work for a cup of coffee.
It's actually not that bad. What you
Yeah,
do
but I
is,
got to stand there and wait, and then you got to press it just right, and then you got to.
nah, just don't press too hard and just wait a minute or so. So, what you vaping on tonight, Dylan?
Harpy Slim with the Ether Burrow that has Stevie Marquez and Mr. Dread in it. Vicious Ant Vidar with the juice that Mr. Brett Whitney cooked up for me and my father. Grapefruit lemon orange juice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Grapefruit,
And
lemon.
my daily driver, the billet box that has the wicked alpha in that with something Brian cooked up. The peanut butter banana coconut.
Mmm,
And the RBA that's in the Vicious Ant is the Alexa 6.
cool.
Take it away, big brother.
Well, we know we got the Guar and the Blaze. And we've got the Theory on my brother George with the GT5 on top of it. And I've been rocking the sand every time I leave the house. But I'm not leaving the house the rest of the week, so I'll probably clean that out and rewick it.
Cool.
Okay, you
JT?
had me. Well, it's about the same old people. We got the Aries 2 on top of the Ursa Quest. That's got the Bonnie and Clyde in it. We have the Pulse, bringing up the, what is that? I don't know. That stuff. The pineapple, which I'm still enjoying. Phenomenal. And then we got my favorite little silver.
Oh, that's
Got
nice.
the Valerian in it.
Mmm. Is that made by the same people who made the Valerian RTA?
No, wait, it's not the Valerian. A Voltro.
Oh,
I knew it
okay.
was a V bastard. Never mind, it's a VW.
Okay.
But yeah, no, loved it. Got the George setup going with the Gower and the bulk on top. And it's got the grape ice. Not too bad. And then we got the intake MTL on top of the. This one's the Thelema. It's got my menthol in it. And last but not least, we have the Caliburn.
Yeah. Nice.
You gotta have the Caliburn. Now, what are you vaping on there, oh dear potentate?
Well, for George, I've got the Nova. I've forgotten which one it is. It's a dual battery mod, just a good solid mod. And on top
Don't
of
have
it,
to
I
worry.
got, huh?
Oh, I was going to say you don't have to worry about it getting stolen in Mexico.
No, oh man, you can't vape in Mexico,
Really?
or else you can't fly with vapes or something. But I ain't never going to Mexico again, and I learned all that Spanish for nothing. I can almost
How
have
they're
a
bringing it
one-sided
to you.
conversation. Do what?
They're bringing it to you.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, they're bringing it to you. Damn it, Chuck, why can't you just go visit Mexico? Why do you have to send...
See what you did?
I can't. I'll just call them. And on top of that, I got the bulk. And
Oh, luck.
got the Pluck. I got the Stubby 21 with the Ponte in it. If I can hold it. No, still can't do it.
What is a Ponte?
It's a mesh Tallboy RBA section.
What was it before that with the word?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's already getting time to clean it again. And I've got the chitlins, Tulu
Tulu?
with the
Gesundheit.
Tulu in it with a wicked. I forget. It's a clone. Whatever. It's $20. But it's nice. This is my all-day banger right here.
It's not your driver.
No, my driver, that's this one.
I prefer my 3-iron.
Yeah, and in 2 of these, I've got Starburst in it. It's just
Starburst?
because it's.
Starburst.
Oh no, this one's got apple ankle bravo nickel in it, apple mango banana in it. This one, the Stubby 21.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow, great. After yesterday's little story about them finding microplastics in women's nuts, we get microplastics in human skeletal tissue.
I always knew JT like nuts.
Is that why I
Well,
don't
won't
break
that
any
just
bones?
reinforce your bones?
I guess that's what it is. Kind of like, making you exo. Well, no, it's not an exo.
No.
Exos.
Enzo.
Yeah. Be cool. Strengthen your bones.
And I've also got the
It's just a
Provari,
cheap version of Wolverine, then.
got the Provari
Provari.
P2.5 with the Aries 24 on top.
Ooh.
In that one, I got coffee.
Oh, what kind of coffee?
Brazilian coffee, but I also add a little caramel to it.
Careful.
Oh, you would.
Oh, Brazilian. That just
You
sounds
do
good.
use goat milk, right?
It's what got me off cigarettes.
There you go.
That just actually sounds really good.
It is. It is. Just enough to get a little sweet.
That's what I use. That was my first favorite vape, was a coffee vape.
Mm-hmm. And it's hit or miss because most coffees taste like shit.
Oh, it's hard to find a good one. It's hard to mix a good one.
Yeah, I know. But you want to use that coffee to try to mix in to make it a dark chocolate.
Yeah. Chocolate's a bitch too.
Chocolate's a bitch, yeah.
Well, mine was a bitch.
I've had good chocolate vapes, and I still don't care for them. It just doesn't translate well in a vape to me. Like cinnamon. I love cinnamon, but
Well, maybe
vaping
if it was-
doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was more along the lines of a chocolate pudding instead of like candy chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, I've had the chocolate, milk chocolate. I've had chocolate milk. I've had chocolate custard. It's just they're good chocolates. They taste good on the knuckle. They smell good. They taste good on the inhale. It's just after a few puffs, you can't get through a whole tank without it. It's just that's enough.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I've experienced too.
Yeah, but but my taste buds are so messed up. I mean, I hear people rave that this is awesome, and I just don't taste it,
I've gotten to the point where I'm really liking the sweet vapes now. I've kind of migrated. But I wonder if they're going to take the titanium dioxide out of the Skittles vapes.
But that's the whole reason I have the Skittles vape.
Oh, that sounds
Okay.
good.
Because it makes a good deodorant. That aluminum
Good.
dioxide and titanium dioxide.
Cool.
Yep. But it leaves stains in your pits.
Oh, well, isn't that why you use the diacetyl?
Yeah. Gotta have the butter. Let's see here. And that, and unmute.
NakedChicks.com?
Go over there. Stupid person alert.
And this is an incredibly dangerous stunt in Wyoming. A woman taking a selfie standing right next to a bison in Yellowstone National Park a couple of weeks ago. The person who took the video says they were in disbelief. They say the woman could have been gored. The animal likely would have had to be euthanized through no fault of its own. The National Park Service advises people to stay at least 25 yards away from bison, warning they are unpredictable and injured people in the park more than any other animal.
It's funny, they say women outnumber or outlive men. I don't think she's going to.
Damn it.
That's
You gave
pretty
up
dumb.
what I was trying to get Dylan a job doing out at Yellowstone this summer.
Fuck you!
That's pretty stupid.
Let's see here. This happened. Senator Adam Schiff busted in massive mortgage fraud scandal. This happened about a week ago, like while we were doing the show last week. And let's see here. Hang on. Let's have some sound.
Why is it inside Gin Psaki?
Ew.
But the
That's where
administration
Mark wants to be.
relishes this. They relish the opportunity to go after judges. They relish the opportunity to try to intimidate and shock people. They talk, just gleefully about impeaching judges they disagree with. So it is part of a broader assault on the rule of law, a broader effort to intimidate. They're intimidating the universities. They're intimidating the law firms. They're intimidating corporations, forcing them to come.
Dude, that manic look in his face.
I just want to slap the face right off him.
Yeah,
I mean-
but wouldn't you be afraid that shit wouldn't come off your hand?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to wash your hands. Definitely.
You might, Chuck. You might want to wash your hands like 4 or 5 times after slap the shit out of him.
I think you're right.
Well, we'll test on you, Dylan.
Fuck you.
Hat in hand begging for exemptions from tariffs, and now they're trying to intimidate the judiciary as well.
People used to say, who's worse, a politician or a vicious real estate developer? And I would say, the real estate developer is far worse. But after about 3 months and getting to know scum like Adam Schiff and other people like that, I said, no, actually, real estate people are quite nice by comparison.
Adam Schiff, the man who once called Donald Trump a threat to democracy, is now being accused of mortgage fraud. Yeah, the same dude who led the charge on ethics and integrity may have filled out a few loan forms like he was auditioning for Catch Me If You Can. And here's the kicker. This scandal smells very, very familiar because New York Attorney General Letitia James, another proud Trump detractor, is facing damn near the same allegations.
New York Attorney General Letitia James with some tough words
Dylan.
against the Trump
Do you know that reporter?
Nope.
Damn.
administration. She is forcefully defending herself from a mortgage fraud investigation launched by the Justice Department.
This investigation into me is nothing more than...
Dylan, do you know that woman?
Letitia James?
Yeah. They call her Big Tish.
And retribution. It's baseless. It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
During her speech, she bragged about filing 23 suits challenging the legality of the executive orders signed by the president that she said do harm to New Yorkers.
My message is clear.
Yeah. We talked about this a week or two ago. The paperwork was already typed up before she signed it that's saying that she was going to live in Virginia.
He's a retard.
Yeah. Yep.
Clear.
You're expert.
Don't harm my city. Don't harm my state. Otherwise, you've got to go through me.
Two of Trump's loudest haters are now caught up in the same kind of mess that is just absolutely astounding. You cannot make any of this up, so let's break it all the way down. Let's get into it. So Adam Schiff, he is a Democratic senator from California, former House Intelligence Community Chair in the face of Trump's first impeachment. He spent years on cable news telling America that he was holding the most powerful people accountable. His beef with Trump goes way back, basically back to 2016 when Trump was elected. Schiff became one of the loudest critics in Congress, accusing him with collusion of Russia, obstruction of justice, and abusing presidential power. Schiff was the architect of the first impeachment back in 2019, centered on Trump's call with Ukraine and allegations of pressuring a foreign government for dirt on Joe Biden. Trump in turn called him a liar and a national disgrace. Schiff wasn't just critical, he was everywhere. MSNBC, CNN, floor speeches, press conferences. He framed himself as the guy who was going to hold Trump accountable.
This is someone who has escaped justice time after time after time. Someone who was able to delay and continues to delay all of his other trials.
Yeah. Look who's talking.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about that $7.5 million to keep somebody quiet.
Yeah.
It's really played rope-a-dope in the courts and gotten away with it until today. And I do think justice has finally caught up with Donald Trump, but he will be forever branded a convicted felon.
In 2020, Schiff kept the pressure
There's only a few people who believe that too.
on launching
They're missing
probes
one
and hearings
critical
onto
element.
Trump's administration.
And that's him actually being sentenced.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
I just
They're
have
beef-
one question.
Yeah,
Chuck.
man.
Why does this dumbass in the video think Trump's a fucking criminal when Trump's done more for this country than this senator has in his entire fucking life?
Yeah. Yeah.
basically became political theater. Trump called for Schiff to resign multiple times. And now the same Adam Schiff, who preached transparency and ethics, is now being accused of fudging his own real estate paperwork. It is pretty ironic and, again, hilarious. But now he got folks asking, how are you out here busting people for corruption when you might have finessed your own mortgage paperwork like a broke college kid applying for student aid? The allegations go like this. Schiff refinanced his home in Maryland, a state that he doesn't even represent, and claimed that it was his primary residence.
Here we go again.
How's that making sense? He is the senator from California. But you know why he did it, or allegedly why he did it?
How many of them actually live in Maryland, though? A bunch. Or Virginia.
Right.
Yeah,
That
but they
move
don't put it
helped him.
down as their primary residence.
It's starting to look like they do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Land a lower mortgage rate. But at the same time, he was voting, campaigning, and getting elected in California, where he also claimed residency. So what's the big deal with all that? Well, lying on your mortgage documents is fraud, plain and simple. It doesn't matter if you're just a regular doofus with a sketchy tax guy or a senator with an army of lawyers. Banks don't play with that primary residence box on the form. According to the ethics complaint filed by some watchdogs, Schiff refinanced his Maryland crib multiple times between 2009 and 2013. In each case, he allegedly told the bank that the house was his main home. But according to California records, Schiff was registered to vote in LA during the same period. He was also elected to Congress and serving the California people while supposedly living in Maryland. So either Adam Schiff was teleporting like the Nightcrawler or something is not adding up. And the funny thing, it gets even better. This is not just about mortgages, it's about voter fraud too. But claiming that you live in one place for your loan, but another for your vote is a legal no-no. And Schiff isn't just some rando, he is a US senator, so the bar is higher. So right now, Adam Schiff has not been criminally charged yet, but he did previously acknowledge the issue. Kinda. Years ago, he repaid property tax exemptions in Maryland after it came out that he was claiming residency in 2 states. Right there, some people may call that a soft confession. Now, the ethics complaint is calling for federal and state level investigations, and the people are wondering why the DOJ is moving so slow on this one. But it's interesting because it's possible we've seen this movie before, and it's likely that Adam Schiff is going to probably be in some trouble. Enter Letitia James.
Okay, we don't need to see her. We've already seen that. But, yeah.
It was funny, those fires moving her.
Yep. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, told the ladies on The View to cut back on their Trump bashing.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Here's a little something about that.
Yeah, but there's nothing they can do if they can't bash Trump.
I know. That's all they talk about.
So the head of ABC has told the women of The View it's time to tone down the anti-Trump crap. Let's talk about it.
I watch this guy a lot. He's Nate the lawyer. There you go.
So the past couple of years, the women of The View have made it abundantly clear. They hate Donald Trump and they love everything the Democrats do. Now, the premise of the show was to give voice to women, even if they were left-wing or right-wing, and they would give their views on the show The View to counteract a male narrative that's out there. But the show hired some extreme left-wing personalities, and they've essentially taken over the show. Whatever Trump does is bad, whatever Biden does is good, and they kind of play it from those perspectives. So now when Trump won re-election...
Yeah, their previous host moved to Ireland.
This is how the women of The View described it.
So what happened last night?
I think that his diehard fans don't care what he does. He lies and lies constantly.
I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the...
That person, I don't know how she got to pass the law exam. I do not know how she passed the bar.
It's Betty, $7.50 is all it costs.
States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off.
Think about this. She did this.
By the way, her Whoopi's real name, her real first name is Karen.
Why does she look like a man?
I don't know. And Ted Danson used to be married to her.
In 2 months, she was everywhere. She talked to everybody, and people didn't come out. I don't know why, and it doesn't even matter. He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name. That's not going to change.
So as it says here, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, has told the host of the left-leaning daytime talk show The View to scale back their political commentary, particularly their frequent criticisms of President Trump, according to the report.
Let me show you. Right there. Karen Elaine Johnson.
Jeez, there's another Karen in the fucking world to talk shit to us about what we can do.
Yep.
Has sparked tension behind the scenes at the show, whose outspoken panel has become known for tackling political issues head on, the Daily Beast reported Wednesday. And just for reference, here is that Daily Beast article. Disney CEO told host of The View to tone down Trump bashing. And they go into it, as you can see here. Now, in February, the host of The View were told to tone it down and to go easy on Trump-related commentary leading up to the inauguration, but it doesn't seem like they heeded that warning. Now, the women of The View pushed back. They said it's an opinion show and that the co-hosts are paid to give their perspective on a variety of topics.
Yeah. Well, here's what I said. I feel like I might be giving them too much credit, but if The View promoted actual discourse instead of being a liberal pulpit, other libs might be better prepared for disagreement and actually be able to talk to those of us who might disagree with them. If you go for months or years without hearing any disagreement, you may be inclined to think that your way is the only logical way.
Including politics. Now, I want to make it very clear, The View's co-hosts were being encouraged by their bosses to implement a balance of the show and a balance of the topics. The changes were not really Trump specific, but just saying, just don't bash Trump all show. Let's mix it up a little bit. And that's because since Trump's return to the White House following the 2024 election, the co-hosts of The View have maintained a steady stream of commentary aimed at the administration's policies and rhetoric. And this is obviously simple, right? Because if you're only appealing to one side of the aisle, you're missing half the country.
Yep, more than half.
And ABC is into making money. Disney is into making money. And I'm thinking that they're looking long term and saying, hey, we want Republicans and Democrats to watch this show. This shouldn't just be a Democrat only show. We need these varying perspectives. That's why I think they want to shift the tone to hopefully increase the people who watch the show. So, according to two sources cited by the Daily Beast, the boss of The View encouraged the co-hosts to increase focus on celebrity interviews and lifestyle segments because those were the ones that were performing well. And this was a suggestion that wasn't framed as a directive, but it still reportedly didn't sit well with the panel. Now, the women responded to these suggestions. One source said that Navarro pushed back, arguing that the viewers expect The View to have strong political commentary, especially during such a volatile political climate.
Navarro is one of the ones that they hired who was supposed to be conservative.
At the beginning.
At the beginning.
This is what our audience wants, the source said, paraphrasing the group's response. Isn't it going to look kind of bad if we're all of a sudden not talking about politics? So now we have a kind of internal structure.
And that's bullshit. They just want to get away with ranting about it.
Yep. Saying whatever they want.
Yep.
As the New York Post reports, despite the push, the hosts have largely decided to continue doing their thing, one source said. Now, being anti-Trump hasn't hurt The View's ratings. Matter of fact, it says here, The View has remained a ratings draw for Disney's owned ABC. According to Nielsen ratings, the show was the top-rated daytime network talk and news program during the first quarter of 2025. So the anti-Trump stuff has been making them tons of money. People are watching. So it's not the ratings that are driving this need to be more balanced. The internal tension seems to come from the broader pressure on Disney from Trump and his allies. For example, in December, Disney agreed to pay a $16 million settlement, including $15 million to Trump's presidential library and $1 million in legal fees after former President Trump sued ABC over anchor George Stephanopoulos. For those of you who don't remember, Stephanopoulos incorrectly characterized a civil lawsuit against Trump by E. Jean Carroll as a rape conviction, but it wasn't.
That was fun.
He was found guilty of sexual abuse.
Yeah. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
I just answered your question.
What is the answer?
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law.
ABC's George Stephanopoulos repeatedly stated in this March interview with Congresswoman Nancy Mace that Donald Trump had been found liable for raping E. Jean Carroll when he had instead been found liable for sexual abuse. The network sued by Trump for defamation, now agreeing to make a $15 million donation to a future Trump Presidential Foundation and Museum, and pay an additional $1 million to cover Trump's legal fees, and issue this statement of regret.
And ABC isn't the only one they're going after. Trump is also suing CBS and his parent company Paramount Global for $20 billion over a 60 Minutes interview with then Vice President Kamala Harris.
You remember that one? That's the one where they took her answers and made them make sense?
Yeah.
And Fox News even got caught out there lying on behalf of Trump. They had to pay over $700 million for claiming the election was stolen, even though they had clear evidence it wasn't.
This morning, Fox News is paying Dominion Voting Systems more than $787 million to settle a 2-year legal dispute over amplifying 2020 election fraud allegations it knew to be false.
All right, so what do I think about this story? No, number one, this is not about money. The reason why we know it's not about money is because the View's ratings are great for them being anti-Trump. So this is not about cash. What I do think this is about is the network having some credibility amongst the viewing public. If you're going to do a show called The View but only give one perspective, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the show. And I think Bob Iger is looking to the future of ABC and Disney. I think he wants to get them out of this, hey, they're just woke Democrats in neutral clothing, and make the network seemingly more neutral and more balanced in its coverage of news and opinions. Now, if I really wanted to change the tone of The View, I would take, unfortunately, I feel sorry for the conservatives that are on there, those fake conservatives off, and I would put some real conservatives on, people who won't just be pushed over because someone said something. Laura Ingraham, Megyn Kelly, even Candace Owens would be a refreshing view on that show because it would give a separate perspective, and she would be able to challenge these other points being made on behalf of the Democrats. But at the end of the day,
I mean, that's all they need to do. One of the problems right now is that you can't talk to people who disagree at all because they lose their fucking mind.
What it basically is, they're telling a story, but not the story.
Yep. And
but if it wasn't for doctors' offices and I don't go other places that they show that, but it's kind of like CNN in the airport.
Yeah. But I think if people got used to seeing a discussion about politics and stuff, they would be a little more open to listening and not just talking at you.
I just want to know why the hate. Why all of a sudden can't we can disagree before and get along. Just, all right, everybody wants it this way. I don't, but okay.
Yeah.
Now it's all or nothing, man.
And all the violence.
Yeah. If you don't agree with me, you should die.
Yeah. Fucking.
It's all for the revolution.
Yeah. I mean, even, man, there was an old lady, driving a Tesla one time. This guy whips around from behind her, came in front, stopped, and starts scaring the shit out of her.
He punched her in the face.
Yeah.
He was in his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't right. That ain't right. And they act justified. I tried to talk to somebody about this. Oh, because things are so shitty right now. They're shitty for everybody.
Yeah. But look, man, for the last 4 years, what have we heard? When the first speech Biden gave, it was white supremacy. And then it turned to Trump and his people are fascists.
Yeah.
Trump is Hitler. So you're doing a good job if you can damage Hitler.
Brian's got an interesting point. He says he thinks they're getting closer to invoking the 25th Amendment if Trump keeps pardoning certain criminals.
Oh, please.
Not like we traded the war. I mean, he's responsible for how many wars for a tranny basketball player?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to talk to me about releasing criminals?
Yeah. Yeah, let alone when they're actually finding out, hey, there were people forging the president's signature.
Yeah.
Which is a very important thing, but they're not really talking about that. You notice?
Yeah.
Because that requires somebody might have to pay the consequence.
Yep.
We can't have that.
No. I mean, there's so much shit that needs to be straightened out. Man. Here's a little something on Diddy's trial. Some of the latest. Let's see here.
Kidnapping, arson, drug offenses. Today's testimony in the Diddy trial was a little crazy.
Yeah, Nate again. Sorry, guys. Now, in the future, I'm gonna try to pick segments from different sources and edit them so that we won't have to see some announcer guy, streamer, whatever besides us, because we're the cool ones.
Well, I should hope so.
Is Capricorn Clark. She is a former assistant to Sean P. Diddy Combs, and she worked with him from 2004 to 2012, and then later worked for Cassie Ventura in 2018. Now, what you see on the screen is a chart of all the various crimes the government is accusing Sean Combs of committing in this particular trial. Now, it's important to remember that the government only has to prove 2 of these to be true to get a conviction on the RICO charges. Now, along with the RICO charges, the government's also charging Combs separately with sex trafficking and transportation for prostitution. So today's testimony started to focus in on the kidnapping allegation of 13A listed in the indictment. So let's start with the alleged kidnapping incident that occurred in December of 2011. Capricorn Clark recounted a frightening incident that occurred in December of 2011 when she says that Combs discovered that his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was secretly involved with rapper Kid Cudi. She testified that early one morning, an enraged Combs pounded on Clark's door at about 5:30 to 6 a.m. in the morning. When she opened it up, she saw Combs looking disheveled, well dressed though, but his pants were torn. He was holding a gun, and according to Clark, Combs demanded, why didn't she tell him about Cassie and Kid Cudi? She then testified that she was told to get dressed by Diddy, who said that they were about to go and kill Kid Cudi. Now, I want you to hear from someone who's sitting in the courtroom while this testimony is being given. He's an attorney from New York like myself. His name is Joe Neerman, and they call him Good Logic. Here is his recap of the testimony.
Day 10 at the Diddy trial, and this morning we saw testimony from Capricorn Clark, longtime assistant to Diddy on and off between 2004 and 2018. She documented a whole new series of crimes that we had not yet heard about while corroborating testimony from Kid Cudi and Cassie Ventura. I am Joe Neerman, aka Good Logic. I'm an attorney in downtown New York, covering this trial and dropping 2 videos a day, letting you know what's happening inside the courtroom and giving you a legal perspective on matters that you're not going to get from legacy media. We've now had 3 witnesses who have testified between Cassie, Kid Cudi, and Capricorn Clark to the outrage that Diddy displayed when he first learned of an ongoing relationship between Cassie Ventura and Kid Cudi. Now, Capricorn had known about this relationship for a while. She testified that she went with Cassie to get her burner phone because she was concerned that if Diddy would find out about this relationship, that all hell would break loose, and she figured that Diddy controlled her phone and that the best thing for her to do would be to get a burner phone. When Diddy found out about this, she said it was on December 22nd, 2011, that he came to her and took her at gunpoint in a car saying, "We're going to get Cassie." And that they had gone to Cassie's house, they had gone to Kid Cudi's house, and they were driving around, and they were they stopped off at a hotel for a while, and were hanging out a couple of miles away from Kid Cudi's house, and the different interactions that she had with Cassie and Kid Cudi by phone at the express direction of Diddy. Now, Diddy saw that there was a personal relationship between Capricorn Clark and Cassie, and at one point during that day, before the police had arrived, when they saw that the police were going to be coming, he said that Diddy seemed to calm a little bit when he saw the police involvement was coming down. That he had Cassie he had Capricorn collect Cassie to bring her back to his house. And that,
by the way, this is a whole bait and switch too. Diddy's a bad person and has done a lot of bad things and deserves all the persecution and prosecution he's going to get. But they're doing this so that hopefully we'll forget about Jeffrey Epstein.
That was what she did. She, at Diddy's direction, according to Capricorn, called up Cassie and told Cassie that Diddy refuses to let her go, meaning he's going to hold on to Capricorn until Cassie would come, and was essentially using her as a bargaining chip, that she was being held hostage by Diddy until Cassie would come and meet with Diddy. Now, this is what, and in fact, the testimony opened, in the opening statement, one of the first questions she got was, "Were you kidnapped by Diddy?" And she said yes. And that's the incident she's referring to, not the incident so much with the lie detector test, which some would qualify as a kidnapping in 2004. But the 2011 incident is what they're referring to as a kidnapping. After she ends up collecting Cassie, she also was directed to go to Kid Cudi and contact him and tell him that with the police coming to his house, that he should not identify Diddy as the person who came to his house or having any relationship to it. Otherwise, quote unquote, he said he will kill us all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. He just had way too much control. Who was the Teamsters guy? Hoffa. It was Hoffa. I don't know, man.
I have a hard time accepting all the names I'm hearing. It's just, can we grow up? What happened to Horace and John and George and I mean, they all have these weird nicknames.
Yeah. Kid Cudi, Puffy. You know, Puff Daddy comes from him puffing up, getting mad, and he actually went along with that name.
Yeah, because they couldn't call him Cracker.
Hey, Jim.
Hi.
Do you got a joke for us?
You know, I might. Let's see. John, he finally moves in with his girlfriend, and for about a year, he's able to keep it from his mother. Well, finally, it happened. He gets cornered, and Mom says, I'm coming to Sunday dinner. So he, tells his girlfriend, we'll just play off like we're roommates, and everything will be cool. She'll be gone, everything will be all right. So Mom comes over, and she's kind of skeptical, and he insists that, oh, no, it's a platonic relationship. We're just roommates. The city's expensive. All right. So they had their dinner. Mom leaves. Well, a couple of days later, they noticed that the antique silver picture frame that Mom was eyeing has been missing. So, not wanting to confront Mom directly, he writes her a letter, and he says, Dear Mom, he says, I'm not saying you did, and I'm not saying you didn't, but since you were here, the antique picture frame you were looking at has been missing. Well, Mom writes back in a couple days, and she goes, well, son, I'm not saying you are, and I'm not saying you aren't screwing your girlfriend, but if she slept in her own bed, you'd have found the picture frame.
Nice. Oh, man. Let me get a link here. Why am I never ready? Okay. Well, that's the show for tonight, folks. If you guys would like to, I'll unlock the room and y'all can come on in. And I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for coming by. And by the way,
God
special
bless.
shout out to Marcus for coming by.
Yeah. Hey, bring munchies.
God bless. I pray for American people.
Don't be a dick.
Stay classy.